Well, I'm going to try to start again there. Welcome to the rainy parking lot of Sprouts in East Sacramento. We're over here in the beautiful Land Park area. There's a little break in the rain at the moment, but these clouds that are happily sort of drizzling some rain here on Sacramento are heading east, and they're going to be dumping a lot of snow in the Lake Tahoe area and on the Donner Pass and things like that. And that's going to be very welcome to all of California. And as usual, I'm in a parking lot on a Tuesday. It is election day in the United States, and so for all my American friends, I hope you voted, and I wish you a happy election day morning, because probably the rest of the day isn't going to. It's that golden moment, like just before they draw the lottery numbers, where there's hope for some kind of whatever. Anyway, enjoy your blissful moment before you find out exactly what happens. In any event, I hope you voted. And yesterday, I said I would cast a geomantic divination if you would put up your favorite candidate or who you would like to see win. And actually I did a full-blown quick and dirty geomantic divination on the candidates that you responded to. And if you didn't see my response or the geomantic answers, just scroll down my Facebook page and see my responses. Not only that, but last night I created a brand new, probably 15-minute thing where I'm all dressed up, spooky, like looking wild and crazy, and I gave the results of my geomantic divination. Now, all of that's just for fun, and I'm not the world's greatest geomancy expert or diviner, but be that as it may, I did what I could and got the answers I got. Some of them were encouraging from my point of view, and some of them were predictably unencouraging. But anyway, we're in the parking lot. I'm finishing up my discussion and my reading of notes on the astral plane, which is one of the appendices of magic and theory and practice. And this will be the last in that series, and this, I guess it'd be the sixth one today. And as I was reading it over, I was absolutely blown away at the orgiastic nature of Crowley's parting words concerning the astral plane. Now, you know, I always confess and mockily, if that's a word, lament the fact that I digress a lot. I'll stop in the middle of a story to tell another story, and then stop in the middle of that story and tell another story. But Crowley, when he was writing this material was, as I mentioned earlier, was at the Abbey of Thelema in the early 1920s, and this was his sort of experimental magical communal society there in a commune, if you will, in Sicily. And they were experimenting with a lot of exotic drugs and things like that, and cocaine. Let's just come out and say it. And Crowley was such a loquacious person to begin with, and his mind was so sharp. And once you get a mind like that sped up chemically, the digressions become astounding. And where we left off yesterday, Crowley was getting ready to go into a marvelous digression concerning the age change and his role as the prophet of the new aeon and things like that. And it sort of got off the track concerning the astral plane. Although when you take the time to read it and to match your heartbeat, which with the hummingbird heartbeat of Crowley when he was writing it, it's quite profound. But today I'm going to, in order to finish off our discussion of the notes on the astral, I'm going to skip ahead to where that particular digression ended. But you are more than welcome to, and indeed encouraged to read it yourself. Now, that being said, I'm going to digress before I even start something, because I wanted to read to you something that is directly relevant to this final passage that I'm going to read. And it concerns the classic play, the Bacchae. Now, I don't know what's the proper way to pronounce the Bacchae, but it's a play. Some consider it the greatest play ever written by a human being. It's by Euripides. And I'm just going to say what Wikipedia, the little paragraph Wikipedia has to say, because those of you who aren't familiar, or who are just generally familiar with the plot of the Bacchae, this will come in handy when I read today's thing. So here's a digression directly from Wikipedia. The Bacchae, also known as the Bacchanets. That'd be a great name for a girl band. Tina and the Bacchanets. Okay. Is an ancient Greek tragedy written by the Athenian playwright Euripides during his final years in Macedonia at the court of Achilles. I'll spell it for you. Archelaus. Archelaus of Macedon. It premiered posthumously at the Theater of Dionysus. Now, I'm going to digress within this digression within this. All theaters, as we know it, are temples of Dionysus. A stage is a Dionysian altar temple. The proscenium arches of a classical stage, classical theater, the amphitheater setup of the Greeks and outdoor stages and things. They're Dionysian temples. When you go to the theater in ancient Greek, you were going to worship. And the ceremony of worship is the play. Okay. It premiered posthumously at the Theater of Dionysus in 405 BC, almost yesterday, as part of the tetralogy that also included 2 other plays, which are in Greek, and I'm not going to try to say them, in which Euripides' son or nephew is assumed to have directed. It won first prize in the City Dionysia Festival competition. Now, it was like Sundance, the Sundance of Greece in 405 BC, or Cannes. Okay. The tragedy is based on the myth of King Pentheus of Thebes and his mother Agave, and their punishment by the god Dionysus, who is Pentheus's cousin. The god Dionysus appears at the beginning of the play and proclaims that he has arrived in Thebes to avenge the slander, which has been repeated by his aunts, that he is not the son of Zeus. In response, he intends to introduce Dionysian rites into the city. And that's an orgiastic, crazy kind of religion that included running around, going plumb nuts in the woods with taking either wine, well, I'm sure there was wine, but wine and ivy beer and other psychedelic kind of things. It spread like wildfire. It was wonderful, and it was very popular among women because they could really let their hair down and do crazy, wonderful, terrible, uninhibited, wild things. And it just all over, from India to Greece and Persia, all over the places, and they worshiped the god Dionysus, and it was sexually charged, and just letting the wonderful natural craziness take place. It was wild and very popular before there was television. In response, he intends to introduce Dionysian rites into the city, and he intends to demonstrate to King Pentheus and to Thebes that he was indeed born a god. At the end of the play, Pentheus is torn apart by the women of Thebes, and his mother, Agave, bears his head on a pike to her father, Cadmus. It's like a horror. It's a combination, and there's comedy in it too. But anyway, the Bacchae is considered to be not only one of Euripides' greatest tragedies, but also one of the greatest ever written, modern or ancient. The Bacchae is distinctive in that the chorus is integrated into the plot, and the god is not a distant presence, but a character in the play. Indeed, the protagonist. Now, there's very, very much Dionysian elements in the myth of Christ, and many of the highlights of the Passion of Christ. Dionysus, for instance, appears before the king, who asks Dionysus what is truth, and Dionysus doesn't say anything, and Dionysus is condemned to be executed, and doesn't resist, but he pulls all sorts of wonderful godlike wonders that make sure that everything's going to be okay. But anyway, digression over. Back to the astral. The magician may therefore be confident that spiritual beings exist, and seek the knowledge and conversation of his own holy guardian angel with the same ardor as that of Frater Perdurabo when he abandoned all, love, wealth, rank, fame, to seek him, the holy guardian angel. Nay, this he must do, or condemn himself to be torn asunder by the maenads of his insensate impulses. The maenads are those wild women that get so crazy that they hunt men down in the woods, thinking that they're running down deer, and they tear them apart with their teeth. So, nay, he must do this, seek the holy guardian angel, or condemn himself to be torn asunder by the maenads of his insensate impulses. He hath no safety, save he himself be Bacchus. Bacchus. That's another Dionysian aspect. Bacchus. Bacchus, divine and human. Bacchus, begotten of Semele, of Zeus, the adulterous lord of thunder, ravishing brutally his virgin victim. Bacchus, babe hidden from hate, in the most holy of holies, the secret of thy sire, in the channel of the star spate, whereof one serpent is thy soul. What's he talking about? Dionysus, Zeus fathered Dionysus on Semele, and Semele, demanding to see Zeus without his insulated pajamas, appeared to her in his full radiant glory, and it fried her to death. But before she died, Zeus grabbed the unborn Dionysus out of her womb and rescued it and shoved it in his own thigh to incubate it. Thigh. Now, thigh has always been a possible blind for his own penis. So I'm going to read that again. Nay, this he must do, or condemn himself to be torn asunder by the maenads of his insensate impulses. He hath no safety, save he himself be Bacchus. Bacchus, divine and human. Bacchus, begotten on Semele of Zeus, an adulterous lord of thunder, ravishing brutally his virgin victim. Bacchus, babe, hidden from hate, in the most holy of holies, the secret sire of the channel of the star spate, whereof one serpent is the soul. Now, if you could imagine projecting the landmarks of an ejaculatory event, and for every serpent or every sperm cell being spread into the sky like stars, Bacchus, babe hidden from hate in the most holy of holies, the secret of thy sire in the channel of the star spate. So you know where that is now. Whereof one serpent is thy soul. Bacchus, twi-formed man, woman. Bacchus, whose innocence tames the tiger, while yet thy horns drip upon thy mouth and sharpen the merriment of wine of murder. Bacchus, thy thyrsus, that's the pine cone on a stick. Bacchus, thy thyrsus oozes sap. Thine ivy clings to it. Thy lion skin slips from thy sleek shoulders, slips from thy lissome loins. Drunk on delight of the godly grape, thou knowest no more the burden of the body and the vexation of the spirit. It's divine intoxication. Come, Bacchus. This is a Crowley digression. Come, Bacchus. Come thou hither, come thou out of the east, come out of the east, astride the ass of Priapus. Come with thy revel of dancers and singers, who followeth thee, forbearing to laugh and to leap. Come in thy name, Dionysus, that maidens be mated to Godhead. Come in thy name, Iacchus, with thy mystical fan to winnow the air, each gust of thy spirit inspiring our soul, that we bear to thee sons in thine image. Verily and amen. Let not the magician forget for a single second what is his one sole business. His uninitiated self, as he absurdly thinks it, is a mob of wild women, hysterical from uncomprehended and unsated animal instinct. They will tear Pentheus, the merely human king who presumes to repress them, into mere shreds of flesh. His own mother, nature, the first to claw at his windpipe. None but Bacchus, the holy guardian angel, hath grace to be God to this riot of maniacs. He alone can transform the disorderly rabble into a pageant of harmonious movements. Tune their hyena howls to the symphony of a paean, and their reasonless rage to self-controlled rapture. It is this angel, whose nature is doubly double, that he may partake of every sacrament. He is at once a god who is drunken with the wine of the earth, and the mammal who quaffs the blood of God to purge him of mortality. He is a woman, as he accepts all impulses. Are they not his? He is a man to stamp himself upon whatever would hallow itself to him. He welds the wand with the cone of pine and ivy tendrils. I'm getting all excited here. The angel creates continually, wreathing his will in clinging beauty imperishably green. The tiger, the symbol of the brutal passions of man, gambols about his master's heels, and he bestrides the ass of Priapus. He makes his sexual force carry him whither he wills to go. Let the magician, therefore, adventure himself upon the astral plane. We come back from this magnificent digression back to the point, the astral plane. Let the magician, therefore, adventure himself upon the astral plane with the declared design to penetrate to a sanctuary of discarnate beings, such as are able to instruct and fortify him, also to prove their identity by testimony beyond rebuttal. All explanations other than these are of value only as extending and equilibrating knowledge, or possibly as supplying energy to such magicians as may have found their way to the sources of strength. In all cases, naught is worth an obol save it serve to help the one great work. He who would reach intelligences of the type under discussion may expect extreme difficulty. The paths are guarded. There is a lion in the way. Technical expertise will not serve here. It is necessary to satisfy the warders of one's right to enter the presence of the master. Particular pledges may be demanded, ordeals imposed, and initiations conferred. These are most serious matters. The body of light must be fully adult, irrevocably fixed, or it will be disintegrated at the outset. But being fit to pass through such experiences, it is bound utterly to its words and acts. It cannot even appear to break an oath, as its fleshly fellow may do. Such then is the general description of the astral plane and of the proper conduct of the magician in his dealings therewith. In words so simple a child could understand them. Okay, that's it. If you're curious as to my geomantic predictions, scroll down on my Facebook page, see last night's little 15-minute video, or read the comments on yesterday's program where I respond individually to each of the questions. Anyway, that's it, and it's getting really gloomy and kind of strange here. So I'm going to close for today and hope that I'll be in a mood to do tomorrow's show. I won't be in despair somewhere. Okay, until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Love is the law. Love under will.